Hey, sports fans. This is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes. Today, I want to talk about what I expect from the teams in the top 25 AP preseason poll. But I also would like to hear from you on what you think you would like to see with the teams that are in the AP Top 25. So make sure that you put it in the comments what your thoughts are on these teams in the top 25 and what you would like to see from them this season. So first, I want to start with the 2015 in the preseason poll, the Iowa Hawkeyes. Now, last year, Iowa's defense was off the charts. But what I would like to see this year is an offense. Iowa has got to have an offense if they expect to compete in the Big Ten with teams like Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Oregon, USC, Washington, Nebraska. You have to have an offense if you think you're going to compete in the Big Ten. So, Iowa, you need an offense, and hopefully this year you'll have one. The 24th ranked team is the NC State, which is North Carolina State Wolfpack. North Carolina State, I want to see if you can compete with Clemson and Florida State and Miami. If you can compete with them, you can solidify yourself as one of the top teams in the ACC. North Carolina State, you're going to have a chance to do that. So we'll see. But that's what I would like to see. If you can compete with those three top teams in the ACC. The 23rd ranked team is USC. And I'm quite sure everybody who watches the USC Trojans are going to probably hope for the same thing that I'm about to mention right now. What is your defense going to do? You're the opposite of Iowa. Iowa had a good defense and no offense. And USC, you had a fantastic offense, but no defense. Hopefully, you can get that fixed. And this year, you'll be able to compete in the Big Ten with those physical teams in the Big Ten if you have a defense, because they're going to try to run the ball down your throat. So, USC, I'm looking to see if you have a defense. The number 23 ranked team is the Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas Jayhawks, can you keep Mr. Daniels, your quarterback, healthy all season? Can you keep him from having those back spasms that he had last year that kept him out of some critical games that probably could have put Kansas State in the Big 12 championship? But he was injured for most of that season and he missed out on some of the high profile games that they had. So, Kansas, what I'm looking to see from you is can you keep your quarterback, Mr. Daniels, Jalon Daniels, healthy all season? Number 21 is Arizona Wildcats. Arizona, can you live outside of the Pac 12? Can you go into the Big 12 and be competitive? Because you're coming from a conference that was, in my opinion, was better than the Big 12. Now you're in the Big 12. Can you compete like you competed in the Pac 12? So I'm looking to see, are you going to be able to make that transition and be competitive in the Big 12? The number 20 ranked team is the Texas A&M Aggies. Listen, Texas A&M, only thing I want to see is you lose to my Texas Longhorns. That's the only thing I want to see. You can go 11 and 0 But when you meet Texas, I want to see you lose. And that's what I want to see out of Texas A&M. Losing to my Longhorns. And I'm glad the rivalry is back. Number 19 is the Miami Hurricanes, the team that I picked to win the ACC. And what I want to see from you is I want to see a consistent offense where you win the games you're supposed to win and you're in the games that are competitive down to the fourth quarter. I want to see you pull those games out with Mr. Cam Ward. You got a quarterback that is proven. I expect to see you do some things in that ACC and outside of your conference games. I want to see you winning and doing what you need to do to solidify yourself as the U. Number 18, Kansas State. Kansas State, I want to see if you're going to be able to keep your man, that quarterback who was the number one rated dual threat quarterback in the country. I want to see if you can run an offense around his talent and skills. That's what you're known for. You're known for having a multiple quarterback who can run and pass to run that offense. And you got one of the best in the country. And I want to see if you can make him a Heisman Trophy candidate as a sophomore. So let's see what you're going to do, Kansas State. Number 17 is Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, if your coach, Mr. Gundy, suspends Ollie Gordon for 4 games, I want to see if you can win without Ollie Gordon. We know what you can do with Ollie Gordon, but can you win those games that Ollie Gordon may not play in if he is truly suspended for those first 4 games? Can you win without Ollie Gordon, Oklahoma State? That's what I'm looking to see. Number 16 is the Oklahoma Boomer Sooners. Listen, Oklahoma, just like Texas A&M, all I want to see you do is lose to Texas. That's all. That's it. Plain and simple. Nothing else needs to be said. Just lose to Texas. That's all I want to see you do. Number 15, the Tennessee Vols. Listen, Tennessee, just like what I said earlier about Iowa and those other teams that need to compete in their conference, until you can beat the likes of Georgia and Alabama, you will never solidify yourself as a powerhouse in the SEC. And it's just got a little tougher because now you got the likes of Oklahoma and my boys right there, them Texas Longhorns, in the SEC now. So now it's gotten a little tougher for you. So are you going to be able to solidify yourself as a major team in the SEC and not get passed up by the likes of a Missouri and an Ole Miss? What you going to do, Tennessee? What you going to do down there in Knoxville? I hope you get it together because I want to see you competitive. Because college football is a lot better when the Tennessee Vols are relevant. Number 14 is Clemson. Clemson is what I want to see. I want to see Dabo Swinney finally realize you're going to have to get with NIL and you're going to have to get with the transfer portal. Otherwise, you're going to end up being obsolete. Now, you won 2 championships with Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. You will never see that again if you do not get on board with the transfer portal and NIL. You need to do that to the best of your ability, because all the great coaches around you are using NIL and the transfer portal to build their rosters. And if you don't, you're going to be in one of those positions where you're going to be in a non-power four conference because you're going to be left out. Because ain't nobody going to want no team coming in their conference, especially the Big Ten or the SEC, if you can't compete. You got the name, but you got to get on board with NIL and the transfer portal. Clemson. Number 13 is LSU. LSU, you just got one of my dudes from Texas. He flipped from Texas to LSU. Defensive back, Cade Phillips. That's okay, because there's plenty more talent out there that Texas is in the running to get. I hope that young man does well at LSU. Nobody's upset with him or mad at him. It's a business decision, baby. It's a business decision. And you got to do what's best for you, young man. And I know that's what you're doing. So we're proud of you for making that decision. But anyway, LSU, can you get over that hump of Alabama and Georgia as well? Can you win without the Heisman Trophy winner from last year? Can you get a defense that is up to LSU standards? The kind of LSU defense that we're used to seeing. Now, you got my coach from Texas on the defensive line, coaching your defensive lineman. Can he bring back the dominant line that LSU was known for? That's what I'm looking for from you, LSU. Can you do that? We'll see. Number 12, Utah. The Utes. Very physical team. But what I want to see is, can you keep Cam Rising healthy so that he can lead the Utah Utes to a Big 12 championship? Can he do it? I believe he can, because they were very competitive in the Pac-12. So I know that Utah can take all of that grit and talent that they have and be successful in the Big 12. But you got to be ready for that spread, wide open offense that they like to run in the Big 12. And don't get it twisted. Don't think that Big 12 teams don't want to run the football. They do want to run the football. And if you think you're going to get out there and not have a run defense, the Big 12 will show you, yeah, we run first. Even though we spread, we run first. So hopefully, Utah, you can prove that you can compete in the Big 12 the same way you competed in the Pac-12. Number 11, Missouri. Missouri, what I want to see from you is, can you duplicate what you did last year and then some? Were you a one-hit wonder, or are you a two-hit wonder? Can you do it back to back? That's what I want to see from you, Missouri, because you lost a very important guy on your offense. That running back was a beast. Can you replace him? Now, I know you got a solid quarterback, and I know you got a solid wide receiver, but can you replace that running back and be relevant this year, Missouri? Because they got you ranked number 11 in the preseason poll. 11. And everybody just heard me name all the teams that's behind you. Those are some good teams, Missouri. Can you prove that you deserve to be ranked number 11 in the preseason poll? That's what I'm looking to see from you, Missouri. Let's see if you got what it takes. Number 10 is Florida State. Florida State, I need you to do this for me. I need you to make it to the 12-team college football playoff. It won't make up for what happened to you last year, but it will at least prove that Florida State is relevant and that they are here to stay. If you can do it the way you've done it the last previous 2 years, you will prove that Florida State football is back. You didn't do as well in the transfer portal defensively as you did in previous years, but your defensive coach said that this defense this year might be better than the defense last year. And if that's true, you will definitely be in the 12-team playoff. So that's what I want to see from you, Florida State, at number 10. Number 9 is Michigan. Michigan, what I want to see from you is, can you get Mr. Orji playing some high quality football for your team this year? You no longer have J.J. McCarthy, and I hope that he gets well soon, and I hope that everything goes well with everything that he has to do in rehab and surgery and all that good stuff. But I hope that he gets back. But your main objective right now, Michigan, is getting Mr. Orji ready to play some physical ball against the Big Ten opponents that you will face. Hopefully, you will have him up to speed and he's ready to do his thing because he's a very athletic quarterback that's big. I mean, 240 pounds big, running behind an offensive line that even though none of them started last year, they have a lot of playing experience, and they got a system at Michigan that we know they're gonna pound that rock. We seen what they did to Penn State in the second half, didn't we? All runs in the second half, no passes, and beat the snot out of Penn State physically. So, Michigan, can you do that? Can you get Mr. Orji up to speed, or whoever your quarterback might be? I'm thinking it's going to be Mr. Orji, but it might not be. But whoever it is, can you continue your winning ways and still run the Big Ten? That's what I'm looking to see from Michigan, because I know their defense is going to be solid. Number 8, Penn State. Penn State, like I said in the earlier video about 2 weeks ago, you've got to be able to beat the Michigans and the Ohio States of the world before you ever get to be considered a legit challenger for the Big Ten championship. Just like what I talked about earlier with the teams in the SEC, now that Texas and OU have joined, you really got to step your game up. And guess what, Penn State? You got to step your game up because now you got to face teams like USC in the upcoming future. You got to face Oregon in the upcoming future. You got to face Washington in the upcoming future outside of your Michigans and Ohio States. Now you got other teams that are in that Big Ten that are going to be a problem if you can't solidify yourself as a powerhouse in the Big Ten. You have to do it, Penn State, and that's what I'm looking for from you this season. Can you make a statement and win some big games in the Big Ten this year? Number 7, Notre Dame. Now, I was a firm believer that every year Notre Dame had the most difficult schedule in college football because they were playing teams from the ACC, the Big Ten, and the Pac-12. Every year they were playing a combination of those teams. They're not doing that as much anymore, but they still messing with the ACC and the Pac-12. Well, now it's the Big Ten since USC done jumped over there to the Big Ten. But I want to see you make it to the college football playoff this year. You have one of the best chances of making it to the college football playoffs this year. One of the best chances. If I had any odds on who has the best chance of making it, you will probably have the best odds, Notre Dame. So let me see what you're going to do. Can you make it to the college football playoff? And not only make it, but actually win a game. Can you do that, Notre Dame? That's what I'm looking for from you. Number 6, Ole Miss. Ole Miss, can your defense match your offense? Lane Kiffin is going to put up some points, but can you keep the other team from scoring more? That's what I'm looking for you, Ole Miss. Now, I know them home games, when you're at the Grove, I know it's going to be jumping. Anytime you got to go to Ole Miss, the Grove is going to be jumping. It's going to be jumping, and them fans are going to be hyped. They bringing that enthusiasm, that adrenaline. But Ole Miss, is that going to be enough for you to get over the hump? Because you got some tough games on your schedule. Are you going to be able to beat Georgia when they come to the Grove? I don't know. We're going to see. But that's what I'm looking for from you, Ole Miss. Can you get over the hump and make it to the college football playoff as well? Because you rank number 6. That's saying that you should make it. But we'll see. Number 5 is Alabama. Alabama, please don't make Kalen DeBoer follow the greatest college football coach of all time and not win enough games to make it to the 12-team playoff. You have to do it for Mr. DeBoer because he is filling some huge shoes. He's filling the shoes of the greatest coach to ever coach college football, Nick Saban, the guy on the Aflac commercials. Listen, y'all got to do this for Kellen DeBoer because you already know that Alabama fans are going to be upset if you don't do good enough to make it to the college football playoffs. Because they hired Mr. DeBoer thinking that he's a comparable replacement for the GOAT. So do that for Kalen DeBoer. Make him look good because he's an excellent coach. He really is an excellent coach. He's won at every program he's ever coached at. Excellent coach. But you got to do this for Coach. Got to keep him looking good so that the fans will know that y'all hired the right guy for the job. Number 4, my Texas Longhorns. And what I'm looking for from Texas is, listen, we lost our starting running back and we lost another running back who was a true freshman. Can we still produce offensively with the running backs that we have in the room? Can we still do that? Sarkisian, can you call the plays that will make Texas successful, even though they won't have Cedric Baxter or Christian Clark? Also, Texas, what I want to see is, are you going to use a 5 wide receiver set, 4 wide receiver set? Are you going to use a lot of 21 personnel now that you don't have Cedric Baxter and Christian Clark? Are you going to be more 12 personnel? One running back, 2 tight ends. I want to see what kind of formations are you going to use to be the most effective this year, knowing that your running back room isn't what you had planned on it being at the beginning of fall camp. That's what I'm anxious to see from my Texas Longhorns. Let's go. That ain't the end of the show. I just wanted to throw up the hookums real quick. Number 3, Oregon. Oregon. Now listen, they saying that Pro Football Focus is saying that Dan Lanning is the second best coach in college football. Do you know what that means? That means that they think he is right behind Kirby Smart. And we know how good of a coach Kirby Smart is. So listen, Oregon, you have got to prove Pro Football Focus right and beat Ohio State and beat Penn State and beat Michigan. Because I believe you got all 3 of them on your schedule. And I'm looking to see if you can handle that physicality that is coming at you from them 3 teams. Because listen, they are coming to pound you in the ground the same way that Ohio State pounded you in the ground in that BCS championship game. Oh no! Matter of fact, that was the first group of 4. I mean, the first 4-team playoff. That's right. Yeah, when Zeke Elliott now whooped up on Marcus Mariota. Yeah. Are you gonna get some comeback like you did when you came to Ohio State a couple of years ago? Are you gonna let them come to your crib and return the favor, or are you gonna do them the way you did them when you came to the shoe? What you gonna do, Oregon? How are you gonna compete in this Big Ten that's physical week in and week out? That's what I want to see, Oregon. Can you handle the physicality of the Big Ten? Number 2 is one of those teams I talked about, the Ohio State Buckeyes. One of the teams that I believe has the most talent, top to bottom, of any team in college football. But what I want to see, Ohio State, is if your quarterback is not having a good day, can you run behind that line of scrimmage and win games the way those Michigan Wolverines did last year? Can you do that when Will Howard is not having a good day? Can you line up mano a mano and run the ball down your opponent's throat with those 2 great backs, Mr. Henderson and Mr. Junkin? Can you do that, Ohio State? That's what I'm looking to see. And number 1 is Georgia. Georgia, all I want to see from you is, can you win those 3 road games that you have against Alabama, Ole Miss, and Texas? Because you got to go to all 3 of their home fields and pull out victories. Can you do that, Georgia? We will see. Because that's the only thing I want to see if you can do, Georgia, is win those 3 games on the road. With that being said, folks, I will end this video with my favorite line or my favorite word. Hook 'em!